Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting a boxing bout between Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley in the rematch. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley too, because not Tyron, it's Tyron. Man, it's not Tyrone, it's Tyron. Yeah, I would call him Tyron Woodley a lot. It's Tyron, it's not yet. It's Tyron Woodley. Yeah. After all the years, still messing the guy's name up, but he should just name himself Tyrone. It would have been much more simple than Tyron. But his mom named him that, his dad named him that, and he loved that name and had it all his life, all 40 years of it. So yeah, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley too. How I see this is, I just thought I'll see is the same as the second. Well, same as the first fight. I just see it's the same as the first fight, and I got that one prediction right by the way too. So I see the same as the first fight. I don't think Woodley gonna come here and do anything so spectacular and get a knockout over Jake Paul. Not to say that beating Jake Paul is something to be, do a backflip over and be excited about. He really should go out there and destroy Jake Paul. But Tyron Woodley at this point is who he is, and I don't think he's gonna be any big changes. If anything, I feel like what Tyron Woodley should do, he really serious about boxing and making some money, or at least boxing and fighting these little celebrity fights or these little exhibition type fights, basically. Is he should go out there and probably, fight some cans. Sound like a bad connotation to it, a bad thing to it, but that's what you do. Even the best boxers, they be having 900 amateur fights, like 901, 900 wins, one losses. They come here, they fight like 20 cans, just so they get ready to get a feel for the ring again, get a feel for not having a head guard on, get a feel for fighting this amount of rounds, and fighting older people, not fighting these kids and the amateurs. So they do these things, so they adjust. Tyron Woodley, not like he was no great MMA striker, but he got some wins over some pretty decent guys. Then he came over. I mean, yeah. Then he came to boxing. He's a newbie. Even though you could say he did MMA this and made that, the guy was never truly a striker. And he come into striking, and what he should do is pile some wins together, like fight some bums, maybe get like 10 wins off bums, maybe 5 at least off bums, then kind of step it up. But again, I definitely don't think at any point in his career or in his life, Tyron Woodley will ever be a decent or great boxer. He won't. He'll be all right at best. All right, that's below decent. He'll be all right at the very best. He can train all as hard as he wants, get the best knowledge he wants, but at best he'll always at most be an all right boxer because he's already like 40. He don't have no great head for boxing or striking as much as he thinks he might have. He can have all the coaches, but the man like 40 years old, so it's not like he's gonna get any better. Jake Paul will probably get a little bit better from this fight. I mean, coming into this fight, but Tyron Woodley gonna be minimum improvement and such. It's gonna be the same thing. Tyron Woodley, you just always expect him to come in here. Oh, this time he's gonna let his hand go. This time he's gonna let his hand go. This time he's gonna let it go. But the man has not really let his hand go in like 5-6 years. And even then, it's not like he let his hand go all that much. He would just still explode. He would explode a little bit more. But the guy, as far as striking, has never been a high output fighter. I mean, maybe that Nate Marquardt fight. That's for a fight he really let his hands go. Like he turned from a wrestler to a striker, and he let his hand go a lot in that fight. But outside of that, it hasn't really been a case of Tyron Woodley ever been a guy that has high rate of output. So it's not like, oh, he started doing this later in his career. He's been doing it his whole career, even when he was a champion. So the guy's not a high outright fighter. It's not like he has such phenomenal power. He's explosive, got some decent power, but nothing super impressive. And Jake Paul, I don't think Jake Paul is such an amazing talent either. He's gonna pile some wins, gonna make some more money until he runs into somebody that's gonna smack him up, and then he's gonna say he's gonna retire. But so it's not like I don't expect Jake Paul to come in super better. I expect him to be better, more technical. But again, Jake Paul's not a great boxer. He'll never be a great boxer, never be a good boxer. At best, he might be decent. He might be a passable boxer. But again, the guy not here on for the right reasons. And I think it'll be a case of where he'll go out there, just simply be more active than Woodley again. He's gonna try to go for some kills, probably let his hand go a little bit more. Then Woodley probably gonna respond and touch him. Then gonna go back in defensive mode and then go back to point fighting. It's gonna be similar to the first fight. Maybe a little bit more action, maybe a little bit more intensity at points, but ultimately, roughly the same exact fight again. And anyone paying gonna have the same thoughts again. Maybe this fight will tank, maybe it won't, but anyone going in here buying this fight expecting something different, you are, I don't know what you're thinking. You're gonna get the same stuff. Especially if you watch Woodley. Woodley has been giving you the same exact fight, minus him getting stopped in his last couple of MMA fights. Has been giving you the same exact fight for a long time now. And Jake Paul might be a different variable. But Jake Paul, as much as you might think he is that guy, money-wise, he's that guy as far as fake fights and these celebrity fights. He's that guy at this moment. As far as actual talent and skill, y'all try to give him more stuff than he asked credit for than he actually deserves. He deserves a lot of credit, and a lot of credit people don't give him. But as far as trying to give him all his credit as a boxer, it's credit that's undeserved to him. So he's not gonna be that guy and he's gonna go out there and stop Woodley or make no statement. Maybe beat him a little bit more clear, maybe let his hands go a little bit more. But ultimately, a decision again I see it happening in the rematch. So in this fight, I got Jake Paul via decision.